Most people never ask. They never pick up the phone. They never send that email. They never take that first step. And that's the difference between those who dream and those who dream and those who... When I was 12 years old, I picked up the phone and called a man named Bill Hewlett. Yes, the co-founder of Hewlett-Packard. His number was in the phone book, and he answered. Now imagine that for a second. A 12-year-old kid calling up one of the most successful businessmen of his time. Of his time. No hesitation, no second guessing, just a simple ask. Hi, I'm Steve Jobs. I'm 12 years old, and I want to build a frequency counter. Do you have any spare parts? I'm thinking spare parts. Most people would have laughed and hung up, but not Bill. He chuckled, but he didn't dismiss me. He didn't say, kid, I don't have time for this. Instead, he did something that changed my life forever. He gave me the parts I needed, and then he gave me something even more valuable. An opportunity. That summer, I got a job at Hewlett-Packard working on an assembly line, putting nuts and bolts together on frequency counters. It wasn't a glamorous job. It wasn't some genius-level engineering position. But to me, it was heaven. It was heaven. I was inside one of the greatest technology companies in the world, surrounded by people who were building the future. And it all started with one simple thing. I asked, now, here's the crazy part. Most people never do this. Most people never take that first step. Why? Because they're afraid. Afraid of looking stupid. Afraid of rejection. Afraid of failure. Afraid that the person on the other end will say no, or worse, laugh at them. But here's something I've learned. Most people want to help. Think about it. If someone came up to you genuinely interested in what you do, eager to learn, asking for guidance, would you turn them away? Probably not. Because deep down, we all remember what it was like to be that person just starting out, full of curiosity and ambition. But most people never make that call. They never send that email. They never take that chance. And that's what separates the people who do things from the people who just dream about them. People think success is about luck, about being in the right place at the right time, but it's not. It's about showing up. It's about showing up. It's about taking action. It's about knocking on doors over and over until one of them opens. When we started Apple, we had no idea if it would work. No guarantees, no safety net, just a vision, a garage, and a willingness to try. And here's the thing, most of the people who do something great didn't have it all figured out from the start. They weren't the smartest. They weren't the most talented. They were just the ones who kept going. They were the ones who picked up the phone. They were the ones who asked. I get it. Nobody wants to fail, but the truth is you will fail. You will get rejected. You will hear a no more times than you can count. And that's okay, because every failure is just another step forward. Look at the greatest innovators in history. Edison, Einstein, Disney. They all failed over and over. Edison made 1,000 failed attempts before inventing the light bulb. Disney was told he lacked imagination. Einstein was labeled a slow learner, but they kept going. They weren't afraid to ask, to try, to fail. And that's what separates those who create from those who watch. When people ask me for advice, I try to do what Bill Hewlett did for me, because that's how the world moves forward. Someone has to take the first step. Someone has to be bold enough to ask. And I'll tell you something else. Every successful person you admire, every CEO, every artist, every innovator, they all got to where they are because at some point they asked for help. They reached out. They learned from those who came before them. They weren't afraid to look foolish to admit they didn't have all the answers. And because of that, they found the answers they needed. What's stopping you? What's that thing you've been wanting to do? That idea you've been sitting on? That opportunity you've been too afraid to chase? Are you waiting for permission? For the perfect moment? For someone to come along and tell you, hey, it's okay. You can do this? Because let me tell you, the perfect moment will never come. Nobody is going to hand you permission. You have to take it. You have to pick up the phone. You have to ask. Because the people who change the world aren't the ones who wait. They're the ones who take action. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this. The people who make things happen aren't the ones who are the most talented, the most intelligent, or the most well-connected. Son was well-connected. They're the ones who have the courage to start. So don't wait. Don't let fear hold you back. Pick up the phone, send that email, knock on that door, because you never know where one simple ask might lead. And that is the real secret.